So, without further ado, Dave.
Well, hello, friends. It's hard to believe that this is happening here again. Edna was so kind to, telling some of you to host my 70th birthday some 8 years ago, and right in this house. And it's wonderful to be here again.
Close to you, Dave.
Yeah, I have to keep it up. Okay. I just wanted to give you an idea. Some of you may not know how our ministry got started, and some of you might identify with who we were, Pauline and I, when we first were introduced to the whole concept of having a personal relationship with Jesus. I was a lawyer in Jamaica, and I had been very fortunate to be successful at a very young age. I became a partner of the law firm I was in when I was only 25, which was unheard of. Nobody had become a partner under 40 before that. And I'd also invested in real estate and been quite successful. We built our dream house, we had our dream car, our dream boat, everything that is supposed to make you happy. But surprise, surprise, I wasn't happy. I call that the emptiness of success, and maybe some of you have experienced that. There's always something missing. I had a friend from Canada who had gone to school with me, and he came to visit, and he was like the top neurosurgeon up in Halifax, Canada, and he came to our house up in the mountains of Jamaica looking down at the city, and he said, you know, here we are up in the mountains looking down at the city. I've reached the height of my career. All I do is go in and do the final stitches in the brain. And it's lonely and empty up here. So, because God had somehow prepared me, I didn't know where to look for significance or what people call happiness. But God had his own idea. And one day, somebody lent me a book about biblical prophecy, how Jesus Christ had fulfilled to the letter specific literal prophecies of the Old Testament. There are over 360 specific prophecies that Jesus fulfilled. And I was overwhelmed by the evidence. My legal training was useful because I didn't have to guess about it. These are literal prophecies interpreted by the golden rule of interpretation. Take the words at their ordinary literal meaning unless it's inconsistent with the context or the book as a whole, which is what I've been taught as a lawyer. So I just use my legal skills to look at the Bible, and amazingly, for the first time, the Bible made sense. Before that, I just thought it was some kind of holy book. But there was no getting around the evidence, hard evidence. And I came to the conclusion that there are only two possibilities. Jesus was exactly who he said he was, which is the Son of God. He said that he existed before Abraham. It's kind of weird. Somebody went around saying that they existed before Abraham. And, or as C.S. Lewis put it, he was a lunatic. He was either the Lord, a lunatic, or a liar. And there are few people, even the greatest people that are not people of faith, don't usually think of Jesus as a fool or a lunatic or a liar. So he is Lord. And I came to that conclusion after studying all these prophecies. And I said to Pauline, I was at home that day, reading all this stuff. She came home from work and I said, guess what, Pauline? God became a man and visited this planet 2,000 years ago and died for the sins of many. And it's true.
Mm-hmm.
You see, I'd heard that story about him dying for the sins of many. I used to say the Apostles' Creed in church, but I didn't really believe it. But now I knew it was true. And that makes all the difference. If you know that God has, I said to Pauline actually, I said, if God has visited this earth, we got to find out what he had to say. We're going to find out. We're going to have to study the Bible. We're going to have to find out everything he has to say. And so that took me on a long journey. 5 years later, I departed from my law practice. And this is the pivotal point in our story. Without taking any money whatsoever, because Jamaica was going Marxist and they didn't allow us to take out money. I could have got it out illegally, but my father and I both decided that to take our money out illegally would not have been a good testimony or witness, because I was telling all my wealthy friends, put your trust in God, not in your money. So if they heard I had all this money in a bank in Miami, they would just think of me as a hypocrite. So we decided not to take any money. Somebody in the States, a friend that we had from West Virginia, gave us $7,000. So I took my wife and 3 children, our youngest Rachel wasn't born yet, went to Switzerland and England and studied under some pretty famous people about the truth of Christianity. And as obviously that changed everything. I did not really plan to go into full-time ministry, but God put on my heart to come to Miami of all places. And so we came here in faith. We just had miracles along the line, even to get our papers and everything. But here we came. We started a multiracial church, one of the first multiracial churches in Miami, called International Community Church. But I knew that wasn't my calling. My calling was always to reach the lost, reach people that don't know Jesus. So after a few years of being a pastor, I joined a group called Executive Ministries, a part of Crew. And we have several Crew staff here tonight, including the Drakes, the Beals, and a couple others, and the Williams. And I worked with this amazing group of people to reach out to executives and young professionals. Some of the young professionals are a little older now. So that's about it. Surprise, surprise, Phil.